Hello, OKH family and friends. I'm Melissa Case, the principal at Kentucky Home Middle School, and I wanted to share a bit of information with you, particularly just about some questions that we have been asked in the past couple of days. So just want to provide some clarity. If you will go to the Kentucky Home website, and that's a quick Google search, it's the first thing that pops up, and then go to OKH Basics, you can find the Wildcats LEADbook. Also here is the Dress for Success policy, and it's a one-pager if you wanted to just see that component of the LEADbook. So as we reach the LEADbook, I want to point out first of all that as you look through this, you can always get right back to the table of contents by simply clicking here and then scrolling back to the table of contents. So in the LEADbook, you will find how to stay connected. That includes, following us on Twitter or Facebook, how to access your Infinite Campus portal, how to get daily electronic emails, etc. The school supply list is located here. All staff members' email addresses are here. You can go to the house structure, which is one of the first things that I want to speak to you about, as some of you are familiar with this and some of you are not. So we will be starting the house system at Kentucky Home this year, and currently it's the gray house, the red house, and the blue house, which I realize is very generic, but intentionally so. Over the course of the next few weeks, students will work to do research and create presentations so that each house then votes on the name of their house, and then they'll work to decide on symbols and their shirts and their mascots, etc., so that they really become invested in this, and as we will share with them, ultimately are leaving a legacy for Wildcats yet to come. Every morning, as a part of the house system, we will meet in a 12-minute Care and Connect group where we really just want to spend time building relationships and looking at the things that matter. In that Care and Connect time over the next several weeks is when we're going to be working to decide on our house name. Also, once a week, or as needed, we'll have a 30-minute Care and Connect, and during that time we will be addressing things that align to our LEAD core values of loyalty, effectiveness, achievement, and determination, and also things that align with building community, hospitality, service, etc. And then finally, each house consists of 8 leaders, and 4 of the leaders will have a group of boys in Care and Connect, and 4 of the leaders will have a group of girls in Care and Connect. So the Care and Connect groups are an average of 14 to about 17 students, and they are their gender and grade level. So I have 3 or 4 6th grade girls, 3 or 4 7th grade girls, 3 or 4 8th grade girls. And when you enter Care and Connect as a 6th grader, you're in that same Care and Connect all 3 years. So you really build relationships with that one leader and with the girls or boys who are in your group. So we're really excited about this. Can't wait to see where this takes us. As I can only imagine, it's going to be great places. You can also find in here the daily schedule. So if it's a 12-minute Care and Connect day or a 30-minute Care and Connect day, what that looks like. This is something new this year, the rituals, traditions, and growth opportunities. So you'll see this is broken down by quarter. Just the big community, collaborative leadership kinds of opportunities that we have embedded for this school year. And I imagine as we build rituals and traditions, probably through the house system itself and in our Care and Connects, that these pages will grow over the next few years. But you'll see that there's one for each quarter. Just kind of keep you in the know as well about what's going on at OKH. Next, you'll see the Be Proactive procedures and expectations, and this is one that I've had several questions about. So when you look at the bottom of this page, you'll see the distractors of learning, and anything that you see down here these are things that when students arrive to school and have the opportunity to go to their lockers, these things need to go in their lockers. So they would be in there from 8:20 a.m. until 3:20 p.m. They can, for example, use their phones when they're in the cafeteria and in the gym before school starts. They can use their phones at 3:20 when school is over, but the phones need to be locked away in their lockers and not on their being during the school day. I know I'm easily distracted by a cell phone, and as an adult, I'm easily distracted. I know that our kiddos would also be easily distracted. Another thing that needs to go in the locker at the beginning of the day is the backpack or satchel. For one, when they are in the aisleways of classrooms, they are a trip hazard. Also, we can put anything in there, food, drink, phones, etc. And so because in 2018 we just don't have textbooks, we are reliant on search engines on the internet. There's just not a lot of need for a backpack because you're carrying around only a couple of notebooks a day. So we've embedded locker breaks so that in the middle of the day, students can change out the items that they had at the beginning of the day and then get out the ones that they need for the rest of the day. Food and drink are distractors of learning in the way that I know if any of you all have, probably all of you have seen the flipping of the bottle or the twisting of the bottle to get the air bubble in it to pop it. Spills, etc. We've embedded restroom breaks throughout the day as well, so plenty of opportunities to get something to drink. We also have a 10-10 rule where students can't leave the first 10 minutes of class or the last 10 minutes of class, but then at the teacher's discretion would be able to use a pass to go get a drink if they needed to do that. Hoodies, they need to come off as soon as the student enters the building. A couple of reasons. First of all, the hood popped over a head from the back. It's really difficult to know who you are looking at. And then secondly, having that hoodie on, it's a relaxing feeling, and students are in classrooms to learn, and so we want them to be ready and alert and attentive, and hoodies just promote relaxing instead of that career and college readiness. Other things that just kind of popped up through the year last year, slime was a big deal, and so we had to talk about leaving that in our lockers, and fidget spinners and earbuds. And so just a lot of times what may not seem like common sense, but then you see it in the classroom and you're like, oh, that's common sense. We need to leave those things in the locker because they truly are distractors of learning. Dress for success, it hasn't changed since last year with the exception of cowl necks. Cowl necks are not permitted, and I missed that in the Nelson County policy last year because it's been in place since 8/14/17. But cowl necks are not permitted along with hoods. Pants should not have holes or tears or anything that looks like a hole or a tear. So if you're standing in front of the mirror and you would question if that's a hole or a tear, or your child's standing in front of you and you have to really look to see if it's a hole or a tear, it's probably best to just not wear those. Pants, twill, corduroy, denim, solid color, shorts, same fabrics but can also be plaid in color. I feel like those are the only things that would be changes. So if you were not at Old Kentucky Home Middle School last year, please take a look at the Dress for Success policy. I only have a couple of other things to speak with you about. Fridays are Spirit Days. You may wear Nelson County Schools or Old Kentucky Home Middle School Spirit shirts in the form of t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts. Again, no hoods and dress code bottoms. If you are looking for school discipline policy, you can find that here. One-to-one Chromebooks are for the class of 2025. So if you haven't had the opportunity to fill out that form to say that your child can either use the Chromebook during the day only or can take that Chromebook home each day, please take the time to go here and fill out that form. And the last thing that I want to go over are some frequently asked questions. And so the first one is, how should I go about picking up my child at the end of the day? You will need to do that by way of the pickup line, and there are arrows out at the entrance that show you what direction to go in to do that. You need to have a pickup number to do that. So if you don't have a pickup number, here's how you get one. You click on this form, and your child will then receive the pickup number the next day at school. So we do ask that you refrain from entering the lobby or the waiting area from 3:20 on, that you do go through that pickup line. And that you refrain from parking in the visitor lot, and especially the bus lot, as we have 2 runs of buses that are in and out in the afternoons. So with all of that busy in the front of the school, it's really not ideal to wait for your student in the visitor lot either. So if you'll just go through that pickup line, that's very much appreciated. Again, here's where you can get your pickup number. If you need to change your child's normal mode of transportation, you can send a note with the student, or you can call the school, preferably again before noon. I know emergencies take place, but if you can call before noon, that's ideal so that we can work out all of that with your child. If you do not yet have a parent portal, you just need to call, and that's on Infinite Campus, and that's where you'd be able to access your child's schedule and their grades. Once you have parent portal, also you can do online registration instead of all of that written paperwork at the beginning of the year. So you just simply call the school 349-7040 and ask for a GUID to create a parent portal account. This question came up the other day, and it's one that I haven't addressed in this way before, but realized there is a need. May I bring food to and or have lunch with my child? And you absolutely may have lunch with your child. You just come to the school during your child's lunch period, check in the office, and then you can go have lunch. We do ask that you not bring outside food in, such as fast food, food from restaurants, food from gas stations, etc., as we like to promote community, and a lunch table that has fast food and that sort of food. It's just kind of a little breakdown in community there. So if you do bring that food, your child will need to sit in the front office and eat it in one of the rooms there, and then would be able to go back and join their peers at lunch. Same thing for breakfast. If you're running through a drive-through, stopping at a gas station in the morning, and your child brings it into school, they'll need to go eat it in the office, and then they can go to the gym or the media center from there. So we do offer breakfast and lunch at school that can be purchased, which is right here. The price of lunch is $2.50. The price of breakfast is $1.35, and the reduced prices are here as well. When does school start and end, and when may I pick up or drop off my child? So the actual day starts at 8:20 and it ends at 3:20. Students are expected to be in their seats ready to learn at 8:20, so anytime past that, they would be tardy. You can drop your child off as early as 7:30. 3:20 in the afternoon is when our first run buses are released, as well as students who are being picked up. So at 3:20, if you have a child that's being picked up, that's when they are released. Other than that, the second run buses leave our school at about 3:40, if that would give you some indication of when your kiddo might be home in the afternoon. So there's another link for athletic information, just when the seasons start, practices, etc. So with that said, I thank you so much for your time. I hope that this has provided some clarity for you, and I cannot wait to see your kiddos on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to a great year. Thank you.